Finding your way into a cross-legged seated position. We'll begin our practice today. First with awareness of our breath and of our body. And arriving for our practice just with a little bit of awareness. Taking a moment to let go of what's happened before. So giving ourselves time to be present right now with our body, with our practice, with what we need to feel our best. So start just finding your length in your spine. So lifting the heart a little bit taller. Shoulders are down. Just checking inwards. Slowing down the breath. Maybe closing the eyes if that helps you relax a little bit. If the eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open. And we'll incorporate this soft breath and this fluidity with our movements and with our breath throughout our practice. So we'll reach both fingertips away from us. And on your next inhale, we'll reach the arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the neck long, the spine is just nice and lifted. Again, just noticing each posture, but also just how we're holding ourselves. So remain in a state of balance and a place that feels comfortable and safe as we move through the postures. And then again, when you're ready, on your next inhale, start to reach the arms up, interlace the fingers so the palms are pointing outside. And we'll bend over to the right, pressing into the left hip, opening up the left side body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend over to the left, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll twist to the left. So right hand, just gently place it above the knee. Left hand will reach towards the back. And think of like a towel twisting from the center, just using your core to twist. And then the shoulders. And then maybe the chin. Exhale back to center, switching sides. Left hand over the right knee, right hand reaches back. Not dumping your weight into your right hand, being very gentle. Keeping the weight still in your center and your hips. Breathe in to maybe twist a little farther. And exhale back to center. One more time, we'll reach the fingertips out. Palms will reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Maybe you set an intention to help keep your focus throughout your practice. Maybe it's for strength. Maybe it is for clarity. Tuck the chin to the chest. Give yourself a humble bow. At the very least, we'll find gratitude for our body and for our practice today. Take a nice inhale in through the nose. And then as you exhale, start to walk the hands forward. Allow the upper body to round, chin to chest, without collapsing into the low belly. So keep your low belly nice and just in control. Breathing in through the nose, breathing all the way into the belly. Good, and exhale, walk the hands back. We'll come into a tabletop. So walk the knees back. We'll curl the toes, and we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. So keeping the toes flexed, just starting to bring some life into the feet. Open up the fingertips as wide as you can. So there's an invisible triangle in between each finger. And when you're ready, we'll start to arch the back as we breathe in through the nose. And then point into the toes. Exhale out through the nose to bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, curl the toes. Think of your cow pose as you breathe in. And exhale, point into the toes as you find your cat pose. And again, curling the toes, finding your arch, finding your depth. And then exhale, point. Very good. Start leaning your weight over your left shoulder into both hands, over to the right, sending the hips back towards the heels. And again, making these circular movements. And once your hips reach your heels, we'll switch sides, right, leaning into the right hand, into the left and back. And then again. Very good. Curl the toes, lift the knees, come into a downward facing dog. Again, opening up the fingertips as wide as possible and adjusting the hands if you need to so the index fingers are pointing forwards. Start dropping the heels so you feel a stretch in the back of the legs. Breathe in and out. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll start to walk the toes forwards, coming into a forward fold. Bend into the knees. Make sure you're pressing into all four corners of the feet, so the big toes, the pinky toes, and the left and right of your heel. Chin to chest as you slowly roll up into a standing posture. Tadasana, inhale, both arms reach up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. And then we will reverse. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step both feet back, come into a plank pose. Breathe in as you feel your core tighten. Exhale, lower the knees, the hips, the chest. Inhale, roll the shoulders back as you start to straighten the arms, coming into an upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keeping the feet together, bring the big toes to touch. Drop the heels, big breath in. And again, exhale, walk the toes forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And then we reverse. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the feet back, find your plank. Think of squeezing the kneecaps. Strong core, strong upper body. And then exhale, lower the knees. Lower the hips and chest with control. Inhale, find your upward dog or your cobra. Exhale, curl the toes, downward facing dog. Bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, we'll lift the left foot off the ground, come into a three-legged dog. Make sure your toes are facing the ground. Exhale, go ahead, step your left foot outside of your left hand and drop your back knee. Bring your right hand underneath your heart. Lift the left hand up as you twist. Big breath in. Maybe you curl the back toes and lift your back knee. Rest your lower knee down if it is lifted. Exhale, left hand down. Go ahead, come into a half splits. Start to lengthen your front knee, your left leg. Maybe you walk your hands over to the right. Walk your hands back to center. Maybe you can bring both elbows on the ground. Or you just explore that stretch. Hold here for one more breath in. Exhale, step into your front big toe. Lift your back knee up, come into a plank. And find yourself back into a downward dog. Go ahead, lift your right foot off the ground. Again, flexing your right toes so they're facing the floor. Big breath in here. Exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand and lower your back knee. Point into the back toes. Bring your left hand underneath your heart so it's a little bit closer as you lift your right hand off the ground as you breathe in. Again, maybe you can lift your back knee off the floor. And exhale, lower the right hand down. Point into the back toes. Come into your half split. Start lengthening your right leg so it's straight. Curling your right foot so your big toe starts to point towards your nose. Hold here. Maybe you walk your hands over to the left side. Maybe you can bring both elbows on the ground. Hold here as you breathe in. And exhale, lower your right foot down. Lift your back knee off the floor. Step your right foot back, plank pose. Maybe you try a chaturanga. You lower all the way down with control. Inhale, find your cobra, your upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold here. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breath. That's the beauty of pausing in between practices and poses, is noticing what's going on in between the space that we create. Just observe, find your strength, soft breath. One more inhale. And exhale, start to walk the feet forward, come into your forward fold. Maybe you grab opposite elbows this time, so you let your upper body get heavy. Maybe swinging side to side. And then we'll place both hands underneath our feet. So left hand goes underneath the foot, right hand goes underneath the right foot. Start pressing your toes into your wrist, and maybe you can straighten the arms with the knees still bent. So this is a nice and comfortable position. Maybe you can bring the chin to the chest as the arms start to get heavy now, bending into the arms. And then the next time as you straighten your arms, notice if you can start to strengthen your legs. Straighten and strengthen at the same time. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale, soften the arms and legs as we release the hands. Step the feet back, come into plank pose one more time. Hold as you breathe in through the nose. And then exhale, you can go knees, hips, chest, or you can just keep the body still and bend into the arms. Inhale, find your cobra, your back bend. Exhale, fall into a child's pose. Rest the heart, rest the upper body. Slow down your breath. Maybe you bring the right ear down. Maybe you switch. Bring the palms facing up. Flip the palms down, engage into the fingertips by propping the wrist and the palms up so only the fingertips touch. Deep breath in through the nose, breathing all the way into the belly. Active arms. Exhale, lower the palms down. Allow the forehead to rest. And then start walking the hands back as we come back into our seated position. Resting the hands on top of the knees, heart over the hips. Find your length, find your space. Breathe into the belly, and then exhale to let it go. Take a moment, take a few breaths to observe. To listen. To be curious. And to be content. We'll bring the hands to the heart, to Anjali Mudra. Bow the chin again, finding our sense of gratitude for our body, for our time, for our effort, patience. There's so much to be grateful for. It's important that we just carve a little bit of time in our day to recognize, to be kind to ourselves. Let's lift the chin a little higher. We'll bring the thumbs to our third eye. Take our final inhale of our practice. Together, when you're ready, take that inhale. And exhale with grace, with compassion, with care. And we end our practice.